Do you really need to believe in hell to be a good person? This video explores what major religions, psychology, and modern thinkers say about fear, morality, and human compassion. Whether you're spiritual, skeptical, or somewhere in between, this conversation could change how you see goodness forever. Watch till the end. Your conscience might thank you. Can morality exist without the fear of hell? Are we good because we care, or because we're scared? In today's video, we dive deep into how major religions, social values, and modern psychology define goodness. From ancient scriptures to real-life stories, this conversation challenges everything we've been taught about right and wrong. If you believe in thoughtful, fearless dialogue, like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more bold ideas that go beyond dogma and into deeper truth. Let's begin. No, do we really need to fear hell in order to be good? Across major religions, the concept of hell has often been used to enforce morality. Christianity speaks of eternal fire. Islam warns of severe punishment. But many Americans today are asking, can't I be a good person without believing in eternal torment? Morality driven by fear is called extrinsic motivation in psychology. It's when we do good to avoid punishment. But true character shines through intrinsic motivation, when we help someone simply because it feels right. Think about it. Would you still return a lost wallet if no one was watching? Most people would say yes, not out of fear, but empathy. Philosophers like Immanuel Kant believed morality must come from reason and intention, not consequences. Even Jesus said, "Do unto others as you would have them do unto you, not or else you'll burn." In American culture, where freedom of belief is central, many are redefining goodness, not as obedience to fear, but as a choice to love, respect, and uplift others, even when there's no threat of punishment. So maybe the real question is, isn't choosing goodness without fear the highest form of goodness? The idea of hell exists in many major religions, but its meaning and purpose vary widely. In Christianity, hell is often described as eternal separation from God, a place of fire and punishment for sinners. In Islam, it's Jahannam, with layers of suffering tailored to the gravity of one's sins. Hinduism and Buddhism don't describe a permanent hell, but speak of karmic consequences and cycles of rebirth, including temporary realms of suffering. But here's the deeper question. Is hell meant to scare people into being good, or to reflect the idea of cosmic justice? In the U.S., many are rethinking hell. For some, it feels abusive, like a divine threat rather than loving guidance. For others, it serves as moral order in a chaotic world. But modern thinkers, like author Rob Bell in Love Wins, argue that eternal punishment contradicts the idea of a compassionate God. Psychologically, fear may correct behavior short-term, but love and empathy build lasting moral values. Many Americans, especially younger generations, are shifting from fear-based religion to purpose-driven spirituality. Maybe it's time to ask, is hell a warning, or a story we outgrow as we develop a deeper, more mature sense of right and wrong? Fear can control behavior, but does it truly make us moral? Psychologists say there's a big difference between compliance and character. Fear of punishment might stop someone from doing wrong, but it doesn't teach why it's wrong. This is why child psychologists emphasize empathy over threats. If a child avoids lying just to dodge a timeout, have they really learned honesty? Religions have long used fear, especially fear of hell, to guide behavior. Fear God and keep His commandments, says Ecclesiastes. In Islam, the concept of taqwa includes awe of God's justice. But over time, American culture has shifted toward internal motivation, asking not what will happen if I sin, but who do I want to be? Studies by moral psychologist Lawrence Kohlberg show that higher moral development comes not from fear, but from understanding fairness, compassion, and universal human values. As adults, we hope people do the right thing even when there's no punishment at stake. In a free society like the U.S., morality shaped by fear feels outdated. Americans increasingly believe that true goodness comes from inner values, not threats. After all, a heart that chooses kindness freely is more powerful than one that obeys out of fear. Can you be a good person without believing in God or hell? Many Americans say yes. In fact, studies show that atheists and agnostics often report high levels of ethical behavior, volunteerism, and charitable giving. Morality, for them, doesn't come from divine command but from empathy, human rights, and social responsibility. Secular morality is built on the idea that we can create a just society through reason, compassion, and shared values, not religious fear. Humanist thinkers like Carl Sagan and Sam Harris have argued that kindness, fairness, and justice are not religious property. They're human needs. Religions do offer rich moral frameworks, but in a pluralistic society like the U.S., people live alongside others who believe differently. This makes internal moral compass more important than external religious rules. Even Jesus in Matthew 7:12 taught, "Do to others what you would have them do to you." That principle, known as the Golden Rule, is found in nearly every culture and philosophy, religious or not. So whether someone believes in God, many gods, or none at all, the desire to reduce suffering, protect the weak, and live with integrity remains universal. Goodness, it seems, doesn't require a religion, just a conscience. In today's America, more and more people are walking away from organized religion, but they're not walking away from kindness, justice, or compassion. This shift is part of what researchers call the rise of the nones, people who check none when asked their religion. But leaving religion doesn't mean abandoning values. In fact, many say they left because of the way religion was used, especially the fear of hell, shame, and exclusion. Former Christians, often called ex-evangelicals, speak about spiritual trauma, growing up fearing eternal punishment, feeling unworthy, or being told they were sinful for simply being themselves. Psychologically, that kind of fear can cause anxiety, guilt, and a deep sense of rejection. Yet many of these same people go on to build strong moral lives. They serve others, stand up for justice, and seek truth, not because they're afraid of hell, but because they believe in human dignity. Writers like Richard Rohr and Bell Hooks have shown that love is a more powerful teacher than fear. For these Americans, morality isn't about following rules to avoid hell. It's about becoming the kind of person who would make the world better, whether heaven exists or not. If fear of hell once shaped morality, today many Americans are choosing a different path, one rooted in compassion, not condemnation. Religions like Christianity and Islam have long spoken about mercy. In the Bible, Jesus said, "Blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy." The Quran reminds us that God is most gracious, most merciful. Yet somewhere along the way, fear became louder than love. Now, a growing number of people believe that moral growth comes not from fear of punishment, but from choosing empathy, honesty, and justice, especially when no one is watching. Spiritual leaders like the Dalai Lama, Desmond Tutu, and Mother Teresa all emphasized love over fear, action over judgment. In a divided world, what if our greatest moral force isn't the fear of hell, but the courage to care? Thank you for taking the time to explore this important topic with us. If this video made you think, inspired you, or even challenged you, please give it a like, and consider subscribing for more thoughtful conversations like this. Your support helps us keep creating meaningful content that goes beyond fear and moves toward truth, love, and understanding.